This week on Your City Now, you're invited to the 2019 inauguration of city officials. Outgoing council members say goodbye, and the mayor steps up for animal protection. These stories and more are just ahead on Your City Now. The heavily contested 2019 municipal election is for many a distant memory. Now the city is set to officially swear in those newly elected and incumbents returning to office for another term. The official inauguration ceremony is coming up on Monday the 15th at 10 a.m. at Civic Center Park, and the public is welcome. The 13-member city council will see 5 new members take their first oath of office. They join 8 other incumbents who voters return to office for another term. And at the top of the list, Michael Hancock will be sworn in for his 3rd and final term as mayor of Denver. If you can't make it to Civic Center Park for the festivities, Denver 8 TV will broadcast the event live. You can also live stream the celebration at facebook.com/5280mayor. For those attending the event, there'll be a chance to see the day-to-day operations as part of the mayor's office open house. There will also be a community celebration and concert at the Botanic Gardens Monday evening at 6 p.m. For complete information, go to onedenver.org.
Mr. President, I was going to go into some depth of comments on Councilman Espinoza, but I'm going to have to pass.
There was laughter and tears on Monday night as City Council said goodbye to 5 outgoing members with tributes and roasts.
This won't be recognizable as a testimonial to Paul Lopez, perhaps because it's going to be relatively brief.
Other outgoing members included Mary Beth Sussman.
She is kind and generous and always willing to lend a hand to someone to help somebody else elevate themselves. Not everyone is willing to do that, and I appreciate that.
Wayne New.
You know, it was great to see how he worked and how he really brought together folks. It's been a pleasure serving with you.
And Albus Brooks.
Some of the first times I got to see you in action in your district were after really tough shootings, where people were not looking for policies. They were looking for someone who could be with them and tell them that they had the strength to carry through.
You can see the full tributes and roasts on Denver 8 TV or denver8.tv. City Council was also scheduled to vote on a $93 million contract to make improvements to Pena Boulevard, but there were questions.
As we're considering any substantial road widening projects, that we be sure to ask the questions, that alternative forms of mobility were considered.
We invested $350 million into the transit center for the A line. The $93 million includes an Uber and Lyft and taxi lot with an associated building. I think calling it simply a widening project is disingenuous.
Some on council were more road-friendly.
I want to remind folks that expanding the highway is not just for single-occupant vehicles. Buses use that.
After over 30 minutes of discussion, council postponed the vote until next week, when the new council members could consider the proposal. As the air temperature rises outside, it simply skyrockets inside your car. That's why Mayor Michael Hancock, in conjunction with Denver Animal Protection, put himself in the hot seat, literally, to show the dangers of leaving your dog inside a hot car.
Inside temperature was about 85 degrees. The vehicle was right at 90 degrees when we put him in there, and it got to about 130 surface temperature and about 103 degrees air temperature in the vehicle. So that was just within 10 minutes.
It's warm in here. Crayons are beginning to melt.
But as dangerous as it is for a human, it's infinitely more so for our 4-legged friends.
Anything above 104 is very dangerous for a dog. 106, the dog is going to be experiencing hyperthermia or heat stroke at that point, and that can be deadly within minutes.
If you see a trapped animal, you are encouraged to call DAP at 720-337-1800. But you are legally allowed to break the window to free an animal or child, provided that you have followed the necessary steps listed here. But on these hot days, the DAP and the mayor suggest you leave Fido at home. You can catch new episodes of Your City Now every Friday. Thanks for watching, Denver.